Hey, what's up guys, Cr0wd3d here with many video responses. Not many, it's all one at the moment. I've been doing a lot of mass uploads for the past weekend, so go check that out. But what I'm focusing on today is Magnum's video response number 18. This is my number 18, so making sure. He was talking about bullying and how people was calling him gay, calling him worthless, calling him stupid, pointing out his flaws. People are like that. People, you don't want to be with them. You don't need them. You don't need to talk to them. They're worthless to you. You don't need to talk to them. You don't need to see them. Just blank them out. But it doesn't work. I did the reason why I can't remember much of my high school years or secondary school years and primary school years is because I forced myself to forget because I hated being there. Not because of the lessons or my teachers, it was the people there. I mentioned this before, but there's a lot of stuff I haven't mentioned, like I attacked a few people when I was in secondary school. I wasn't a pacifist then. I was kind of a angry person. I had a lot of rage pent up from primary school. As far as I can remember, I remember being bullied since I was in year 2 and I had braces. I had like a little retainer thing, and so you can see it's done nothing for my teeth. But I remember being called brace face and metal face and metalhead, and that's kind of where it all started. Where I kind of got upset, and there was a line of upset, and there was a line of angry, and there was a line of happy. I wanted to be always happy. I always wanted to make people happy. So I always try and entertain people. I always try and make people happy no matter what. So that's why that's my aim, to make people happy no matter what. Even if I haven't met you and I just recently met you, I'll try and make you happy on that dot. No questions asked. I'll talk to you about anything. I could talk to you about an orange, just to make you have that one smile, and then I know I've made you happy for that moment. And that's what I aim at every day. But dealing with people in secondary school, I remember forcing myself to forget people like that. I remember 2 kids, this was when I was in like the start of the year, 2 kids was bullying my sister. They were calling her a slag and saying that she's no good. And we were just walking down, and I remember hearing that, and I remember just turning around, and I had a calm look on my face. And I turned around, walked up these stairs, carried on walking, walked down the corridor, and I sped up. I was going for full sprint. And I remember knocking one kid on the floor and having the other one with my arm against his throat on a locker. I'm not the most well-built person, but I had this kid on the locker with my whole arm against his throat. I remember kicking this other kid while he was on the floor, because what they did was kind of a stupid thing to do, was to mock my family. Now, family and my friends, if you try and mock them or you try and bully them, they've got to pay hell with me, because I'll just end up turning around and going, you've now dealt with them, now you're going to deal with me. and I'm not the nicest person when you kind of cheese me off. I don't use physical violence. I use words. Now, I remember coming in from school a few days. I remember just sitting there, like, really tired out, stressed out. I didn't want to talk to my parents about it because I thought they wouldn't understand. I still think that now, that they won't understand, even though they've probably gone through the same situation as me. But I remember just putting it all away, locking it away and pushing it aside, going, it's going to be better, it's going to be fine, it's going to be better, it's going to be better. But it didn't get better till I understood, like, the person I am today, which is really late, because I'm like, what, 17? I've just realised who I am. I think that's a great start. For high school or secondary school, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. I was violent with those two kids that I had attacked. Attacked. Well, it was a one-man jump. I remember the next day going up to the head teacher for my year, and I remember just sitting in his office, and he kind of sat next to me and trying to make me feel like it wasn't my fault, but he looked at me and went, "Why did you do it?" I couldn't answer. My answer was, because I felt like it. And this is what caused a lot of problems, because now that school had thought I had something wrong up here. I remember having a psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever you want to call it, come in for me for a few years. They said she was someone I could talk to. She wasn't someone I could talk to. She was more or less someone that would record whatever I said. It was just an empty room, 2 chairs, her in one chair, me in the other chair. She'd be sat there with a clipboard and a recorder. Not a flute, like a mic recorder, so she could tape it. And from then onwards, it was just me sat in that room once a week till like I near enough finished for the last 2 years, and I near enough finished. And for that time, I remember being sat in a room and her telling me that, her asking me questions that I didn't need to answer. Like, we did a block test. If you don't know what a block test is, it's where she sort of holds up pictures and and it comes up with an image, but it's just a splattered image, and you gotta say what you think it is. And I answered normally. And what annoyed me the most was, school is not the end of the world. And at the end of that, the psychiatrist sessions, I realised that I've got college. Everything's gonna get better. So Magnum, everything's gonna get better. I promise you this. No matter what's gonna happen, I'm gonna look after you. Even though I'm miles away, I'm still gonna be there to try and help you and your issues, because I want to make people happy. And to make you happy was the best choice in the world. Just to hear you laugh the first time was so funny. So, no matter what, mate, I'm gonna help you. So, don't feel like crap. you've still got college to come up to. And college is completely different. You get your life ahead of you, mate. Just remember that.